Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93. The I-70 mountain corridor was looking a lot like May this past weekend after a second straight week of falling traffic. Fewer than 115,000 vehicles passed through both sides of the Eisenhower tunnel Friday through Sunday, down 14.5% from last weekend, down nearly 25% from the summer high of 152,000 cars in mid-July. This weekend was the slowest since May 21st. Rain was the obvious roadblock on I-70, closing Glenwood Canyon for the fifth time this summer and the second time for longer than 48 hours. I-70 through the canyon remains closed this afternoon. CDOT engineers say the damage to pavement and drains there is unlike anything they've ever seen. But luckily, there were no injuries or fatalities from mudslides and rockslides. For the past 2 weeks, Verizon service in Frisco and nearby neighborhoods has been spotty to non-existent, and Verizon says you can blame that on recent adjustments they've been making to cell sites downtown. A Verizon rep says service should be better now. Time will tell. Ask County Commissioner Tamara Pogue to summarize the local workforce housing crisis, and she will remind you what's at stake.
Just last week, I heard from some folks at Beaver Run that where they typically have 40 housekeepers in a summer, they now have 9. Our teachers have no place to live. Our first responders have no place to live. Our restaurant employees simply can't afford to be here anymore.
Commissioners recently outlined 8 strategies to address the housing crisis, like Housing Helps, a program where homeowners sell their property to the county to sell back to locals. Commissioner Elizabeth Lawrence.
It just requires that whoever lives in that home be working 30 hours a week for a business that supports Summit County. So this is not for the work from home people that are working for businesses located out of Summit County.
Housing Helps has been slow to get started for the county, selling just 3 homes with 3 more under contract. Breckenridge has a similar in-town program, selling 21 homes with 6 under contract. COVID caseload keeps rising in Summit, as many as 18 new cases in just one day recently. And Public Health Director Amy Wineland says testing is just as important now as it was last year.
Our percent positivity rate has and continues to climb. We're at almost 13.5% right now. And what this indicates is that people are not accessing the testing when they're symptomatic. We're not doing enough testing.
The school year is less than a month away for Summit schools, followed soon by ski season. And Public Health is working with large employers for on-site rapid testing.
I believe our school district will opt in to the serial testing that will be available to all staff and students as well before school starts.
You can also buy at-home COVID testing kits over the counter at pharmacies countywide. Dillon Amphitheater was sold out yesterday for Tedeschi Trucks, and the line to get in was more than 2 blocks long. Standing in line was Art, remembering a show that was nearly canceled before the amphitheater remodel.
Darlingside in 2017, we had a great time, and the power went out, and the guys came right down in front of us on the first row. We lit them up with their iPhones, and they didn't blink. They just kept playing.
Also in line were 2 strangers, Garrett and Steve, who quickly bonded over memories of Grateful Dead shows.
Well, I think it would have to be that Grateful Dead and Allman Brothers combo concert back in '74 at RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C.
Dark Star they played, the Here Comes Sunshine.
There's only a handful of songs where the 2 bands played together. Right?
Yeah, they played Watkins Glen not too long after that.
But even when they toured together, like at RFK and at Watkins Glen, Dickie Betts would come out and play with the Dead, and Jerry Garcia would come out and play with the Allman Brothers.
Right. Coming up next at Dillon is Shaky Graves playing this Friday. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, the Dillon Open Regatta just wrapped up its 50th anniversary season with dozens of captains in town for more than 20 races Friday through yesterday. Frank Kiesling took the Etchells Fleet title, Cameron Robinson the J22 title, and Todd Wernigora J24 Fleet. For the smaller boats, Tim Sealing claimed the PHRF Fleet 1 crown, Patrick Dorsch the PHRF Fleet 2 title, and Will Tooley won the Thursday night regatta. And the grueling Berry Picker Trail Run was held at Vail Mountain over the weekend, where Eli Hemming of Louisville won the men's and overall race. Janelle Links of Boulder took the women's race. Frisco's Terry Summer took first for the women's 60-year-old division. That's one of many division titles she's had this year. And Breck's Kate Zander finished top 10 for the stacked women's 30 title. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93.